Alright, anyway, so the best day to this point was I met my best friend on Facebook.
We had box covered knives. And one of them had a gun.
What'd they have you tied up with?
It's upstairs, I don't even know what it was.
Did you notice that they had gloves on?
Yeah.
They had gloves.
They had gloves, they had long sleeve black shirts.
Long sleeve black shirts. Don't touch it.
That was around my ankles.
What was that originally?
They got that out of my top drawer. It was a
Is that
dress.
A dress? Okay, they brought that pink ribbon with them? Or did it come from out of there?
They may have got it.
So it's still pretty foggy because it's fairly early to wake up after taking a sleeping pill. Somebody jerking the blankets down, which startled me. And then something being pressed against my throat, and they grabbed me by the hair and started jerking me out of bed.
This is Samantha Walford. Here in the police interrogation room, she is showing concern and irritation that the police have not located her missing husband after he'd been kidnapped the night before from their shared home. She appears every bit the loving wife, but little does she know she is the primary suspect. Samantha Walford was born on August 28, 1989 in Mount Pleasant, Texas. She was the oldest of three and had a younger brother Daryl and younger sister Natasha. Samantha was outgoing and talkative and loved to be the center of attention. Growing up, she had aspirations of becoming a vet or becoming famous. She also wanted more than anything to be a mother, a wish that would come true in her senior year of high school. She welcomed a set of twin girls. The father, Samantha's high school sweetheart, would not be in the picture for long and was not even named on the birth certificate. Samantha would find love again in the form of Ernie Ibarra. Ernest Lee Ibarra Jr., lovingly known as Ernie, was born on Christmas Day in 1985 in Mount Pleasant, Texas, to parents Rhonda and Ernest Sr. The couple had another child, a daughter named Tiffany, but their marriage would end in divorce. Ernie and Tiffany remained close with their father, who remarried and had two more children, Abigail and Jimmy, with his new wife Elaine. Growing up, Ernie was known for being reserved and quiet. He was very bright and loved to read and build computers. In 2008, Ernie began dating Samantha Walford.
And I started talking to him on Facebook and laughing and joking and all of that good stuff. And he decided to come and meet me. That was really scary. I was terrified because I had never met this guy. We switched pictures and all of that. I mean, he talked to me, he spoke to everybody in my family. Everybody in my family knew who he was, all of that. So it wasn't really, he was basically family, but we had never face-to-face met, which scared the hell out of me because I don't meet people online. I see all these stories about women meeting people online and them getting killed. Yeah, I was freaking out.
Friends would later say that their first encounter was not online, but that they'd known each other and shared the same friend circles. Lying, even about seemingly insignificant things, was a regular habit of Samantha's. Ernie, however, was smitten, and the two became a couple and moved in together. In 2011, Samantha received big news. She was pregnant again, with her second set of twins. Sam and Ernie welcomed a boy Jared and a girl Kaylee on September 21st, 2011.
My kiwi.
Now, they were a family of 6, and with 2 more mouths to feed, their finances became even tighter. Ernie did his best to provide for the household and worked 2 jobs at Walco Woodcrafters and a local Little Caesars Pizza. Samantha decided to start a YouTube channel that she titled Simply Manic to try to make money from the platform. The channel was mostly vlog-style videos in which she detailed her life, something Ernie didn't quite like as he preferred to keep their business personal. She also attempted reviews, makeup tutorials, and opinion vlogs, all of which usually trailed back to her personal life. Samantha treated her YouTube channel as if it were a major success. However, she was receiving less than 100 views per video before her arrest. And although she spent a lot of time on her channel and recording, her videos were sporadic and disjointed.
The first question, What was I like as a child? Not much different than you are now. Spoiled ass rotten. But you did like to read. You like to be read to. And you were a very happy, smiley child. So being spoiled was just one of the perks of being there.
What do you think of me making YouTube videos?
Well, I guess I don't mind. Takes up a lot of time. She really tries to put a lot into this, guys. There's always something going on. You always have to be on the watch because you never know what you do or what you say if it's going to end up on YouTube.
Samantha spent quite a bit of time on her YouTube videos, and Ernie felt that her attention could have been better spent on the upkeep of their home or finding a paying job.
Wow.
Not gonna light a cigarette?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Because you got that fucking iPad in your hands.
Where?
At least you're paying attention. But only because of this fucking hilarious ass episode. What? Yeah!
Ernie also felt that his children were being exploited online for a job that didn't pay, and that Samantha had become more reckless. In one video, Samantha films her daughter dancing while she is driving her car. Samantha, on the other hand, felt as though she had the sole responsibility of looking after her children, pointing out that Ernie was not really involved. Their relationship was not a steady one, and by June 2012, Ernie had moved out.
But something that bugs me about people asking me how hard it is somehow they always seem to ask me when I've got their asshole of a dad with me. Don't get me wrong, I love the boy to death, but he and I have a lot of problems. Like, of course I love him to death, we have kids together, but he and I have a lot of problems, and he doesn't come around like he should, and he's never done anything to support him. So when somebody asks me if it's hard, he likes to pop off with, "Oh no, it's so easy." Well, of course it's easy for him. I'm the one that does all the work. I'm the one that's there with them every day. I give them their bath, I put them to bed, I get up with them in the morning, every morning. And he's not here for any of it. He comes and sees them like once a month. So it's easy for him. It's not easy having two sets of twins. It's not. Especially trying to go to school and have the kids. It's not easy.
In early 2013, Samantha suffered a minor accident at a Walmart when a changing table fell on her neck that required her to see a chiropractor. The accident would make things difficult for her at home, where the pair would get another surprise in May of 2013, when Samantha found out that she was pregnant again.
And that's a little... yeah. No, I'm not exactly excited about this. Have been on birth control, so we're not sure what I'm having. The dad's not excited either. This was not planned at all. His dad's not having a whole lot to do with this pregnancy.
Though not discussed online, or at least not in Samantha's available videos, Ernie's absence may have been due to an arrest made that same summer. Ernie had previously been arrested in 2005 for speeding, where he was charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon and resisting arrest. He was arrested the following year for failure to appear in court. This time, however, in September of 2013, Ernie was again arrested for speeding, where he was charged with assaulting an officer. He was jailed for an undisclosed amount of time. At the end of 2013, Samantha gave birth to a baby boy they named Keaton. After his son's birth, Ernie decided to move back home and start fresh with Samantha. They finally decided to take things to the next level, and in March of 2014, they asked Ernie's sister Abby to watch the kids while they eloped in Hope, Arkansas. The family appeared happy, but it wouldn't be long before the same problems the couple faced before would rear their ugly heads. Samantha continued with her YouTube channel. She claimed to be going to school and holding down, at one point, 3 jobs, neither of which were true. The two argued over money and the state of their house. Ernie didn't like how much time Samantha spent on making videos, and he often complained that his wife was neglecting the children even though she'd stayed home with them all day. Samantha confides in Ernie's sister Abby that their arguments had turned physical, claiming that Ernie had hit her during an argument. Ernie's family never believed the claims, saying that he was never violent. The police arrested Ernie, but there was nothing to back up Samantha's accusations, so he was released.
Harris County 911, what's your emergency? I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. She's tied up. He is tied up and gagged. I am untying her. What is the victim's name? Samantha Wolford. Is saying that they hit her husband in the face about 5 times, drug him out.
Titus County officers were dispatched to the Ibarra home in the early morning of February 20th, 2015.
How you doing, Lieutenant? Somebody broke into Ernie Jr.'s house, busted through the front door, pistol whipped him pretty good, tied her up, left her upstairs, and then left. Ernie's missing. Don't touch it. Just, what was that originally?
They got that out of my top drawer. It was a
Is that
dress.
a dress? And the ribbon?
The ribbon they had with them.
Okay, they brought that pink ribbon with them?
They were using this to tie him up with. I don't know what this is, but they were using that to tie him up with.
Okay.
Samantha explains to detectives that she was woke up to several men invading their home. The men tied her up and beat Ernie before dragging him out of the house. But already there are some things that don't quite add up. All 5 of her children were found safe in one room, somehow having slept through the altercation. Even on the scene, the police became suspicious of her story.
Did you hear him say anything else besides what you told us?
They said that it was because of his dad. And that
Because of his dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
They said his dad knocked on someone and got their man thrown behind bars. And now they were taking revenge and taking someone from him.
I'm not really seeing a whole lot of blood, though, for somebody that was pistol whipped.
Scene's not really making sense with what she's telling me.
No. Everybody's wearing all black. Black shoes, no identifying marks on them.
Samantha is brought in for questioning, where she first posits that her father-in-law was mixed up in some shady drug dealings.
His dad has a problem with getting involved in things that he don't need to be getting involved with.
Such as?
Drugs.
The detective then starts to poke holes in Sam's story.
My mother was the first number on my call list. I just used my face. And
so instead of calling 911 for help, you called your mother?
how do you press 911 with your face?
Well, how did you dial your mother with your face?
I didn't dial my mother. I just pushed the first thing that was on there. It had just happened to be my mom.
I think you know exactly who did this. I think the story's made up about the your daddy, his daddy, and stuff like that. And I think you know. I think you know exactly who did this, and I think you're scared.
Then Sam's story starts to change.
The only other thing.
Okay. See, I knew. You know, Sam. You know I'm not here lying to you. You know I know.
The only other thing I know, and I don't even know if I know,
Okay.
but it's a suspicion.
Okay.
I've been up at the hospital with my friend Charlotte.
Okay.
And she's got a guy there, and I swear to God, I cannot go up there that I said any of this.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of friends around here, and my life will be in a lot of danger.
Okay.
I have a problem with talking to my friends about our problem.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets to talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way, and how you don't do those things to a person,
Okay.
and he's going to deal with the situation.
Okay.
I didn't take him seriously.
Okay. You see, Sam, you know who did this. Okay. Who is this guy?
His name's John.
John who?
His Facebook is Rebel, John Rebel.
This guy saying he's gonna do.
Handle the situation.
When
That's
did he
all
tell you this?
Yesterday,
Where at?
at the hospital.
What else did he say? Did he tell you he's gonna come out there and kill him?
No, he did not. And I swear to God that is the truth. That's why I have not said that yet. No, he
And his
did not.
Facebook is John Rebel. The Charlotte Morse is up at the hospital now. What room is she in?
218.
After claiming that a man called John Rebel threatened to hurt her husband, the police go to the hospital where she says her friend is staying. The police arrest John Rebel, whose real name is Jonathan Sanford, and his brother-in-law Jose Ponce. Meanwhile, Samantha is doing her best to look the part of the concerned wife back at the police station.
Do you want to talk to me just a little bit about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what they're saying first, because I think you'll be honest. Because our bear's dead. He's dead. But now, according to Samantha, you was just a bystander. Why, JoJo beat the living crap out of him up there in that room where we got all the blood and collecting evidence. Got other evidence outside. We we've got enough to definitely prove. I've already seen something on him. I can prove that. Now what she's doing is she's pointing her finger at you and said, well, hey, John Gravel was just a bystander. And then she come back and started saying how you was plotting and wanting to kill him, wanting to take care of the problem.
No, it had nothing to go like that.
Well, personally, I think it's over a dope deal. What I think. But now you tell me, because we've got everything we need. We've got y'all. We've got everything. I mean, we're wrapping this up. Now all I need is to know and see what I'm going to charge you with. If it's going to be for murder, or if you're going to cooperate, and we find out possibly, because I can't make you no promises.
I know. I already know.
So now you tell me what happened.
Okay, this all started yesterday. Like you said, yeah, we talked to her about her problem with her husband and all that. Mm-hmm. Never did I plot to kill the guy. I have a problem with males hitting females.
And I do too.
That's what me and JoJo done fought 3 or 4 times over, because he has a bad habit of putting his hands on his fiance.
I agree. You're right.
Can't do it. She had a bad habit. Dude treated her like shit. I said, hell, if it was me, I'm accustomed to settling shit by fighting. Simple as that. I spent most of my life locked up.
So far, you and her are matching on your story. That's exactly what she said.
So, and I told her, I said, if anything ever happened, like yesterday, she was with us. He claimed he called her like 13, 14 times and had an attitude with her. He didn't. I had the phone in my pocket. I know he didn't call. The phone log on her phone shows that he only called one time at 12 something, and then another time at 5 something. Both times she answered the phone. So he had an attitude, threw a hissy fit, and she said, well, he's all mad, woo, told me this, that. I said, well, look, I said, it's like this. I just met you. I don't know too much about you, but you're one of my ex's best friends. I'm here to help my homegirl out, because really she's just a real close friend, like a little sister to me. She didn't have nobody there to help her. Her mom loves me to death, and that's about the only thing she could get. Well, I told her, I said, look, if I ain't even gonna lie, if I see you tomorrow with bruises, because by this time she had offered me to use her vehicle to take Charlotte home. And I told her, I said, if for any reason I see bruises on you and I can tell the difference between I slipped and fell bruise to I got the shit beat out of me. And I told her, I said, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him regardless. I don't care. That's just me. That's how I am.
Right.
She told me, well, she did say that there's been times it's crossed her mind to do stupid shit, this and that.
Like what?
Like, basically, like, get somebody to fuck them off. Like, not kill them, but like just beat the shit out of them, set them up, shit like that, right? And I told her, I said, well, damn. I said, you're talking to somebody that could do that, but I wasn't going to, though. She let me borrow the car. Before I took her home, though, the friend of mine went to his cousin's house.
Okay, let me stop you for a minute, John. Now, what I need is, if we're going to have a relationship here where we can trust each other, already I'm starting to sense you're changing the story a little bit, because realistically, everything you told me is identical to what she said. And I'll tell you here in a little bit when I think she starts lying.
They go in. I'm the only person that knows the layout to the house. So JoJo asked me, like, where they sleep at? I'm like, man, I don't know. That's where I get caught in the ear. So I'm like, man, fuck. I'm like, man, look, come on. And I just walked up, stopped, and told him, man, look, upstairs. I was like, kids are up there too, though. Because the kids' room is upstairs also. They go up. I have to go up in the middle. It was JoJo, me, and then the last dude. We go up. Go up. Then JoJo sits there. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Beat the living hell out the dude. Honestly, me personally, I do not believe Samantha really had a hand to play in it. I think that what she was saying just kind of got took too far.
Okay, so what happened? Who beat the hell out of him?
JoJo, another guy. He got drugged downstairs, got put next to the door. The other dude was upstairs, brought her down. No, my bad. They brought her down first. He did. The other guy brought her down first. And then JoJo made me come down. The dude came down, and he come down. The whole time he's got the gun to the dude's head. They come down. Get him down there. Sets him off to the side. JoJo tells me to sit behind him. And at the time, I have nothing to tie this dude with. So he goes and gets this roll of tape, which ain't really fucking tape at all. It's okay. What it is? You know,
I agree.
You ever painted before? It's the tape you put down, and it's really just like It's not even masking tape. It's worse, and it just rips.
So anyway,
so he tells me to tape him up. All I do is I did it because I felt
both of them or one of them?
Just him, and all I did.
Who tied her up?
The other dude supposedly tied her up. Supposedly, I don't know if he did or didn't.
You didn't see it? But
no.
She did come down and you saw her tied up and she was with him.
When she came down the first time, she wasn't tied up yet. He had ripped her shirt off and made her go downstairs without her shirt on. She got downstairs. After we got down, he went over here by the door, right? This is the front door. He was right here. There's like a little cushion seating right here, and then the sofa comes around on top of the table. Children made do sit here. I was behind him, and then after I got the tape on him, which didn't do no damn good anyways, but I came back around the table and stood over here by the door. JoJo started asking him some random questions. Like, I don't even know. And it all had to do with the dude's dad. All the questions had to do with this man's dad.
Really?
I swear to God, everything had to do with the man's dad.
So you think he might have had a secret beef against him then because of his dad?
It might have been. I don't know. I do know it was something about dad owed money, blah, blah, blah.
Jonathan indicates that a third man was present at the crime scene and downplays his role. But his story matches Samantha's a little too closely, and it doesn't quite jive with the evidence. The police track down the third man, Octavius Rhymes, and he is brought in for questioning. Once the police confiscated their phones, the story became much clearer. On the night that the officers reported to the scene, Samantha advised them that the kidnappers had taken Ernie's phone with them. When the police indicated that they were going to put out an emergency request to locate his phone, Samantha asked to call her mother, which the officer allowed. During that time, she sent a series of texts to Octavius. Kill phone, shut that shit down, and ditch phone, move, that indicate that she did know the kidnappers and that she'd had a bigger role in the crime.
I put it on my kids' life. I have not done anything.
Well, but
I didn't have it done, and I did not do anything.
Samantha held strong that she did not know her husband's assailants and maintained that she'd been sleeping after taking a high dose of Ambien, claiming that she has no recollection of those texts. After being confronted with the evidence, both Jonathan and Octavius confess. They both say that Samantha was the mastermind. Jonathan tells police that they were all together at Walmart and then had dinner in order to plan the murder. Police finally had concrete proof that Samantha was lying about her relationship with the three men. Jonathan then takes detectives to where they'd dumped Ernie's body.
Right here like this. I didn't go in? I didn't go no further. Okay. That's what I was going to say. You follow the game trail. My guess is they would follow the game trail because... Yeah, see the body.
Ernie's body was found near the riverbank. He was stripped down and shot once in the back of the head. Octavius Rhymes told police that Samantha wanted Ernie to disappear. The original plan had been to plant drugs in Ernie's truck, and they'd even gone so far as to acquire methamphetamines with Sam's children in tow. But that wouldn't get rid of Samantha's problem fully. Instead, they devised a plan to kill him and stage it as a kidnapping gone wrong. The men entered the Ibarra home after Sam dosed the children with Ambien and put them to sleep in one room so that they would not be in the way or wake up during the ordeal. She left the door unlocked, which explains why there was no forced entry. The men dragged Ernie out of the house after blindfolding him and tying his arms behind his back. Before leaving, they tied Samantha up to make it look like a kidnapping. Then, Jonathan, Jose, and Octavius drove Sam's car to the next county over, to a secluded area of woods where they brought Ernie out and shot him in the head. Octavius claims that it was Jose Ponce that pulled the trigger. Jose Ponce and Jonathan Sanford both pled guilty to the kidnapping and murder of Ernie Ibarra and were sentenced to 50 years for each crime to run concurrently. Samantha and Octavius, however, pled not guilty and went to trial. Octavius was convicted of both the aggravated kidnapping, for which he received 23 years, and the murder, for which he received 75 years. Samantha was also found guilty of both the kidnapping and murder. She was sentenced to 50 years and 99 years respectively to be run consecutively. Samantha's actions have affected so many that loved Ernie. She has simultaneously ruined her own life, taken Ernie's life away, and stripped forever the chance for her children to know their father. But why did she do it? Samantha Walford maintained her innocence throughout, so her motive can only be speculated. Samantha claims to have been abused by Ernie, and it's the reason she gave to her accomplices, but those claims have never been substantiated. Ernie's family believe that he was intending to divorce his wife and take their children, which Samantha could not allow to happen. Another popular theory is that she felt that the death of her husband would help her in her YouTube endeavors, hoping that it would bring in sympathy and views. But what do you think? Do you believe in one reason over another? Or maybe it was all of them? Or perhaps you have another theory? Let us know in the comments below what you believe Samantha's motivations were.